The left is saying Carney did a great job. The right is saying Trump did a great job. Who's right? Who's wrong? Elbows up or thumbs down? We're going to talk about this right now on Born with Purpose. Welcome to Born with Purpose. I'm your host, D.A. Born. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Greatly appreciated. All right, so finally, Carney and Trump meet. Like I said, I was hoping it'd be Pierre Poilievre and Donald Trump meeting, but that's not the case due to what the election results were last week. Okay, so finally they meet. Did I expect anything big to come out of this? I don't know. There was a lot of rumors and speculation and, of course, probably truth that, yes, Carney has worked with Trump and Elon Musk in the past. So maybe this would be something that's, forms something with Canada and the U.S. But from the look of the coverage, didn't look like it went so well. Looks like we're in the same spot as we were a couple days before. So, however, you got left supporters saying that Carney did well. He represented Canada well, and that he did some leverage in the thing. So here's what the left is talking about. Check this clip out.
There are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity is in the partnership and what we can build together. And we have done that in the past. And part of that, as the president just said, is with respect to our own security.
Okay, so you have that. All right, so elbows up, right? Carney says Canada's not for sale. This is what we've been talking about. This is what Canadians have been talking about and been proud of. They want Carney to go in there because he'd be the best to negotiate with Mr. President Donald Trump, right? So he represented well. CNN loved it. MSNBC loved it. And I'm sure CBC and all the other networks that support left-wing politics loved what Carney had to say. Well, this is where the right comes in. And this is when we consider a thumbs down. Check Trump's response, not to Carney, but to the media in regards to working in the future with Canada. Check this clip.
We want to make our own cars. We don't really want cars from Canada. And we put tariffs on cars from Canada, and at a certain point, it won't make economic sense for Canada to build those cars. And we don't want steel from Canada because we're making our own steel, and we're having massive steel plants being built right now as we speak. We really don't want Canadian steel, and we don't want Canadian aluminum and various other things because we want to be able to do it ourselves. And we, because of past thinking of people, we have a tremendous deficit with Canada. In other words, they have a surplus with us. And there's no reason for us to be subsidizing Canada. Canada's a place that will have to be able to take care of itself economically. I assume they can. I will tell you that Trudeau, when I spoke to him, I used to call him Governor Trudeau. I think that probably didn't help his election. But when I spoke to him, I said, so why are we taking your cars? Why are we taking we want to make them ourselves. I said, and if the price of your cars went up, or if we put a tariff on your cars of 25%, what would that mean to you? He said, that would mean the end of Canada. He actually said that to me. And I said, that's a strange answer, but I understand his answer. But no, it's hard to justify subsidizing Canada to the tune of maybe $200 billion a year. We protect Canada militarily, and we always will. We're going to, that's not a money thing. But we always will. But, it's not fair. But why are we subsidizing Canada $200 billion a year, or whatever the number might be? It's a very substantial number. And it's hard for the American taxpayer to say, gee whiz, we love doing that. Thank you very much. We're going to have a very substantive. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it, right? So it just feels like right after Trump said all of that, and with Carney saying absolutely nothing, And I understand Carney's more of a gentleman person than even, let's say, Pierre Poilievre is, right? But it just seemed like right after that, it just seemed like no negotiations, nothing went further, nothing progressed. It looks like US is gonna do their own thing and Canada's gotta figure something out. It looks like tariffs are coming no matter what. Now, whether Trump had to get fact checked or not, with all those things that he said, if he did have to get fact checked, Carney should have said something right after Trump, said all that. Because I think if it was Pierre, Pierre would probably maybe interject, or he probably would say something right after. Carney didn't say anything. And that, to me, is a thumbs down. Because whether Trump is right or not, whether U.S. has done so much for Canada and Canada's done not much for the U.S., the fact of the matter is we have always had a great relationship, U.S. and Canada. Best friends, big brother, little brother. You know what I mean? Americans visit us, we visit them. We go there to live, some of them come up here to live. You know, you got the MLB, NBA, and the NHL all interacting with US and Canada teams. So we should have been able to work something out. We all knew it was a tough task, and we knew that when Trump was going to get in, he had an agenda. He had an agenda to make America first in everything, and he didn't care who was on America's side or not. And it seems like, with no surprise, Canada's in the mix. This has been probably more of a relationship strain that we've ever had with Canada and the U.S. But I think Carney, my opinion, is more thumbs down than elbows up. Yes, he said Canada is not for sale, and I respect that, and that is good. You know what? U.S. should not try to make Canada the 51st state. You know what I mean? If when the way I see it, look, Canada is way too left as a country to ever want to join with the U.S. I mean, there'll be just so much friction. You know what I mean? Because Canada's so left, America's more on the right side, that it just would not work, right? So Trump has to think of something else in order to make 51st state. If anything, and I'm not suggesting he will or he won't, Trump should focus on Alberta. He should keep his eye out on Alberta, because Alberta right now wants to separate from Canada, and they have legit reasons to do it, because they've been conservative for so long, and they feel like the needs have been ignored by Canada with the Liberal government for so long. They want to separate, but that's another subject in another day. Carney, elbows up or thumbs down? I say thumbs down, because he should have said more after Trump said it. Not have an argument like with Zelensky or whatever, but just challenge him to what he's saying. And if all those facts are true, then Carney, in that press conference, in front of all those media and all the reporters, just said, you know what, President Trump, I understand where it's been in the past, but moving from this day forward, we can work out a new deal that it will be less strain on the U.S. for trade and more of a benefit. Yes, you say you don't need our steel. Yes, you say you don't need our lumber and all that. We get it. Fine. Well, let's work out something in the near future where we can come together and, form something. Say something that will give Canadians a little bit of a hope. Even if it's just a little bit. Doesn't have to be a big hope. We know it's Donald Trump. We're not expecting him to do a 180 at all. But a little bit of hope. So for Carney just to sit there and just not respond after Trump gives his little soliloquy, thumbs down for me. Anyway, I want to know your thoughts. What did you think of the meeting between President Trump and Prime Minister Carney? Do you think it was elbows up or thumbs down? Leave in the comments. And of course, if this is your first time watching and you liked it, please give it a like. If you watch this on the regular, please give this a like. Drop some comments and please subscribe to Born with Purpose. Until the next one, I'm out. God bless. Peace.